Mikel, everybody's had something to say this week about Arsenal. What are your reflections on the past 7 days?
More emotion than reflections. I think the emotion it was one of the saddest but proudest night that I have as an Arsenal manager. We had so much belief and hope into that competition, going into the semi-final. Then at the end, when that's gone, obviously, it's a tough one to digest. But at the same time, when I see the team, the way the team perform and the way the team goes to Paris with that results and suffocates an opponent of that caliber and plays with full belief regardless what happened, we are the better team. We concede a goal, we get another one, and the team was always in the game trying to achieve it. So we have to do our very best. We were very close, but we lacked something.
Everyone at the club has to cope with those emotions, but first and foremost, how do you cope with it? Because you shoulder the responsibility above everybody else.
The way I said it, I mean, feel the pain, feel sad, and feel the pride as well, and where we have arrived, and how and in which conditions we have arrived as well, and still the way we competed. I'm very sad as well because I think we deserve more. I'm watching the game back and looking at every stat. We're the better team throughout the 2 legs.
You know better than anybody in this game. Every word that you guys and girls say as managers or coaches is analysed to the nth degree. You said, in your opinion, you thought you were the best team in that competition. Other people obviously disputed that. But from your perspective, can you quantify what you were saying?
Yeah, well, that's my feeling. And my feeling is because I study a lot the game, because I know what is really relevant to win football matches and to perform. And over the last 2 legs, again against PSG, you compare what PSG did against Liverpool and Aston Villa, they deserve to go through. Against us, we did much more than them to win it, but they were much efficient than us, that's clear.
Obviously, you will look at a season from beginning to end in all the competitions. Is it important from your perspective that you divide this season very much into what's happened in the Premier League, which we'll come on to in a minute, and what's happened in Europe? And have there been 2 different trajectories there?
We couldn't do that, but at the end it's a journey that the team lives throughout 10 months, you know, and we have to understand as well how we've been and in which condition the team has been competing week in, week out. And when we're really analysing, you want to analyse the amount of players that we had available for so long, how we have repeated lineups, what is required, and how many minutes you need for certain players to perform and provide certain numbers to win the competitions. We were so far of it, much further than where we have finished. But that's the learnings and the things that I think we can take and make sure that next season don't happen.
You always talk here about progress and the journey, but is it important for you to underline that the journey in Europe has been one of progress in terms of this has been the club's first Champions League semi-final for 16 years?
Yeah, it is, but I think we are not satisfied with that. We want to win it, and we believe that we could win it, and that's the spirit. And if somebody said, no, but we have this, and I don't want anybody talking about it. I want talking why we didn't win it and why we are not there to win it. And that's what it has to drive this club and everybody involved in this project to achieve it.
In terms of the Champions League, from your perspective, why didn't you win it? Why didn't you win it when you were right there?
Because it's a lot of things have to go your way. And what we did is increase the probability of winning it very high. I mean, with the probability and what we generate in 2 games, the probability is really high that you are in the final. But it has to go your way. And it didn't. And we missed too many chances, too many open chances. We can give credit. We do miss, or we had the best goalkeeper in the world in front of them, saving those moments. The decisions have to go for you, and then the ability of the players that they have in margins where you don't expect anybody to score a goal, they have scored goals, and that was the difference.
Clearly, you've always made it very clear here, you're a winner, you don't like losing, you don't like finish second. Losing irritates you. You would have set out at the beginning of the season to want to win as much as you can with Arsenal. Before we get on to perhaps what you could affect, have there been factors in this season that are outside your control, but could also happen to every club?
Yes, and that they've been different to the last 2 seasons, but that's the reality, and that's part of football. decisions are part of football. We play 5 times with 10 men for long periods. Could we prevent it? Could the rules be different or not, or whatever it is? That's a fact. We lost a lot of points there. And the injuries, I think that's been the thing. It's been a nightmare in terms of making lineups, subs, how we changed it, training sessions, because we didn't have a lot of players available, and that's when you want to really raise the standards and win and be much better than the opposition in this league, in this context, is very, very demanding and very tricky.
Discipline is something perhaps you can control to a degree in terms of sending offs and things like that. Injuries is entirely, though, a different matter. With the strains and the demands on players, is that something that you've got to look at as a club, and perhaps football's got to look at? Is it possible to go on at that level and those players achieving without suffering like you have this
That's
year?
not going to change. I think there have been injuries that they are, we had 3-4 big knee injuries, very difficult to prevent. There are other injuries that can we do something different? The load could have been different. The training could have been different. The gym can be different. Prevention can be different. We will look at all those things to try to be better. The reality is that the starting point and the numbers that we had in the beginning to start the season was very, very low. And we accepted the challenge because it's what we could do at that moment.
Let's look at the things that you clearly as a club and you as a head coach and your staff can influence. Although it would seem to me, if you read the newspapers and look at the media, you don't need a coaching badge to solve Arsenal's problems. You just need to go and buy a number 9. Is that just too simplistic, Mikel, though?
I understand that. I think the narrative comes up, and when you have generated, for example, in these 5 expected goals and we score 1 goal, it's normal that it's going to happen, But we look at the things, obviously, with much more data and much more resources than many people, but a lot of people have very good intuition about what is needed, and it's good to listen to those opinions.
What will ultimately count is your opinion. Do you see it as simply as solve that situation, however you decide to solve it, whether it's a recognised striker or whether it's somebody that you think you can develop into that kind of striker? Is that solely the answer?
For me, it's crystal clear what we have to do to be better and to increase the probability. And nobody will say you do this and you win the league or you do the Champions League. No manager, no owner is going to sit in a press conference in front of everybody and say that, because the margins are so small. And not only that, but a lot of things have to go your way to achieve that.
Clearly, one of the big problems for big clubs like yours is everybody knows what you're looking for, so subsequently prices go up. You've got a new sporting director. Is it really important that perhaps you identify talent that everybody else hasn't identified for you to develop? Is that the way for? Is that the way for?
In certain moments, yes. I think timing and when you make those decisions, and as well, I genuinely believe that this is a player for us, because that's very, very important as well. And we have a really clear vision from ownership, what they want to do, a new sporting director, all the board, coaches. We are super aligned on what we want to do, and we are very close of achieving it, and that's it. Some days it will be sunny, then the storm will come. You have to go through every single day. Leave your head up, make sure that you're doing your very best in a very honest way, and you're really fully believing what you can do, and it will come.
I expect the work that you've done to identify players was done months ago, if not even at the end of last season, looking forward. With what you believe you have potentially on the table, and I wouldn't expect you to name names, but are you happy with what you think might walk in through that door during the summer to add to what you've got?
I'm always very happy because I feel it when I see that this is, I think, what we have to do. But starting with the players that we already have. So how can we actually make them better, or sustain the level of consistency, or change the mindset, or alter certain positions, or improve the chemistry between them in certain ways on our way of playing, or give them more tools? That's the starting position. Then we can add something that we don't have for sure. We want to do it, and we're going to try to do it. But let's make sure that those players as well, they get the credit that they deserve for what they're doing.
In terms of looking forward, you go to Liverpool this weekend, you go to the Champions. In some ways, does your next season start on Sunday, in terms it's a chance for you to tell people we're still in this fight? We might have got knocked on the canvas this year, but we're in the fight.
We cannot do that because we still have so much to play. They might be able to do that. We cannot do it. First of all, what I have to do is win our match. First of all, show the appreciation to them for what they've done and recognize that they've been the best team in the league. And after that, do what we have to do to finish what we want to be.
This club has a great history of being respectful. I've no doubt you'll form a guard of honour,
Sure.
but that will, as right as it is, will that hurt?
It will have to hurt, but you have to do the right thing, and you have to recognize the great work that they've done, and they deserve to be the champions.
And just very finally, as I say, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of conjecture. You're on this journey. We're 5 years, or you're 5 years down the road. What does the future look like now for you?
Bright and positive. Yeah?
Simple.
Great.
Good. If you're happy, we're happy.
We're happy.